Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Life with Marian and Joe. Thanks for joining me today. So today I thought I'd go over some of the sentimental pieces that Marianne and I have in our collection that we've gotten from our families, or something that was special that we actually purchased ourselves. So let's get right to it. I think I'm going to start in the dining room. Okay, so here in the dining room, we have a lot of special pieces. Now, I know a lot of people don't even have dining rooms anymore. I think they started to fall out of favor because it was a room that wasn't used too often, and people needed it and converted it to other uses for their home. We do use our dining room, especially when we have guests, or for the holidays especially. So we enjoy having it, and we made it large because at one time, every time we sat down, we had like 22 or 24 people. Obviously, over time, that has subsided now, but we still enjoy having the dining room. And like I said, when people come over, especially at the holidays, we like to spend time with them in our dining room. So let's take a look at some of the stuff in here that is special to us. All right, now this dining room set may look old-fashioned to many people, and it is. I mean, we got it when we first bought the house, when we first built the house. Our first year here, we were going to host 24 people, and what happened was we went to buy the furniture, and they were going to deliver it, but what happened was I wasn't ready for the room yet, so I stayed up the entire night painting the dining room. It wasn't like this, it was just painted, like an antique white, but I spent the whole night getting it ready for the delivery of the furniture. It came in, and on that night, we had 24 people in here, so it was kind of crazy. So it is kind of sentimental to us in that this was some of the first furniture that we had in the house. We are looking for another dining room set. We haven't really come across something that we really, really want yet, but we will be changing it down the road. But it is, I mean, we don't want to throw it out. It did suffer some damage from Sandy, and it is compromised in parts, but I did fix it and kind of hid as much as I can. Okay, so let's take a look at the china closet. Okay, so I guess china closets fell out of favor because china fell out of favor. People nowadays don't necessarily get china or use china, but we do. We have two sets of really good china. One of the sets my parents gave us, and if you know our channel, you know it's that silver one that we use during the winter time. But this is our wedding china right here. This is the Kelly pattern, and it has this beautiful color green in it. And for the summer, I used a lot of green in the dining room, so I thought I was going to take out a few pieces. I didn't take out a lot, just a few plates, just to pick up some of the color. So that obviously that's very meaningful for us. Now behind this biscotti jar right here is a candle, and this candle was at our wedding ceremony in the church. And it's a beautifully carved candle, and it's intact, and we always keep it here in the china closet because that's what the china closet is for. This actually, I know a lot of people think this is my grandmother's jar or Marianne's grandmother's jar, but it's not. I found this biscotti jar in a secondhand store, and it had a recipe inside it, and I just thought it would be absolutely perfect for us because it kind of like screams about our heritage. Down here on this shelf, this is meaningful because these are Marianne's mother's parfait glasses right here, and I found them down the shore, and I said to her, hey, these are I really like this color, and she said, well, let's put them out because what good are they in a box in a garage? So I took them up, and like I said, I'm displaying them for the spring and the summer. Down here, this decanter set, this is my mother and father's right here, and it has these goblets here. It does need to be polished. I haven't done it yet, but I can look at those and I can think about exactly where they were in my house when I was growing up. Behind there's that tray, and that tray comes from friends of Marianne's family. They've been friends for over 60 years. They met them down the shore, and they are almost like family, and they gave us that to add to our collection, and of course we happily took them. Here on the side, I used the Kelly china or wedding china, but I found these glasses also down the shore. They also belong to Marianne's mother, and I thought they were very different looking with the green stem, and I just liked them, and I said, hey, can we take these and display them? And she said, of course. What good are they in a closet or in a box? We might as well look at them while we're alive. So those are from Marianne's mother. Up on top of the china closet, I have these two figurines that I've used up here. And actually what they were lamps from Marianne's mother and father's house from when Marianne was a kid, or even before that. They're probably around from the 1950s or so. This is a ballet dancer right here. And on the other side is the male ballet dancer. And like I said, they were lamps. I took out all the guts of the lamp workings, and I'm using them as figurines. And as soon as Marianne's sister saw them, she was like, oh my God, I remember exactly where they were in the living room when we were kids. So again, have a lot of meaning, and that's what we love. Like, even if only Marianne's sister knows where they're from and we know where they're from, it's meaningful for us. Okay, so I'm coming around here to the sidebar here, and we just located this the other day. This is Marianne's grandfather's wine jug for his homemade wine that he used to bring to the table for dinner or from when people used to come over to stop by. So again, it might not be a fine china or something, you know, exquisitely fine, but boy, does it have a lot of memories and a lot of meaning, because I mean, it's not my grandfather's jug, but my grandfather made wine as well. So it does spark those memories in me as well. This mirror always gets a lot of comments when it shows up in one of our videos. This mirror is, again, we purchased this when we built the house. We saw it and we were like, hey, that would be great in our dining room. It weighs about 8.5 million pounds. And we had about 500 people to help us put it up. Not really, but, and again, it has so many memories because my father was here, Marianne's father was here, Marianne's brother was here. We had some of the kids from school here. We had, my sister-in-laws were here. Everybody to help us lift this up. Honestly, it is tremendously heavy, and it is secured up there. And it hasn't moved since it's been put up there in 1997. So again, a lot of meaning there. I also get a lot of comments about this right here, this bowl. This is a punch bowl that was given to us by our good friend Rosie, and she no longer had use for it. And we don't use it as a punch bowl, but I've used it in many different scenarios and vignettes, and it's beautiful. It weighs a ton. It's absolutely beautiful. And someone asked me if I had the cups, and yes, I have the cups. They're in there. They're being hidden by that greenery right there. So again, we look at that and we always think of our friend Rosie. Now this column over here, which I had, I thought, I don't want to use a column anymore. Those are old fashioned and they don't look good and blah, blah, blah. And I've been watching more and more Homeworthies, and everybody is using columns. So I took it back out, and it has that great green color, the same as our china and the green that I'm using in this room. And it was given to us by our best man, and he's a great guy. And again, we look at it and we think of him, and that's what makes it so pleasurable. The urn that's on top of it was actually purchased. We were trying to figure out where we bought this from, and we actually don't remember, but it's very pretty, and it's hand painted on the inside as well. And what's great about it is it's a great, the column is a great display method for this urn, which again was sitting in the attic. Why was it sitting in the attic? But it was. Someone just wrote to me and told me they were installing a bay window. And, again, for those of you who know me, I always decorate this bay window, especially for the holidays. But for the summer, I'm kind of relaxed. But what I have in here is very special. That big lantern right there is from a student that I had in my first couple of years of teaching. And she, I think she subscribes to our channel, and she always sees stuff on Facebook that I do. So she was moving and she couldn't take this with her, and she said, hey, would you like this lantern? I was like, yeah, sure, and I went to pick it up. I took out all the electrical guts from it, and I use it again for many, many different things. And right now it's sitting on top of a pot in the window with a light in it, and at night it gives a really soft glow. So it has a lot of meaning because I think about those first few years when I was teaching. Over here, this is not memories yet, but we just got these. These are collectible angel plates, and Marianne loves angels. I wanted to show you this because, again, I don't know if you can see it in here. Let me see if I can get this done. Because I did a lot of work on the walls. It's not showing up, unfortunately. But what I've done in here is I painted the wall with, you can see it a little bit right there. See, what happened was I painted on the outside of the trim with a satin. Then on the inside here, I painted with a flat. And then I stenciled a high gloss, same color, all three paints were the same color. They just varied in flat, satin, and gloss so that I could get a slight shimmer in here to make it look like wallpaper. So for those of you who want the look of wallpaper but don't want to go through the pain of wallpaper, this is an option. Is it difficult? Yeah, it is a little bit. There you go. It is a little bit difficult, but it's well worth it. I'm thinking about kind of like getting rid of it now. We've had it for a few years, but Marianne made a very sad face when I said that to her. So what's special here in the dining room that holds a lot of memories? Well, these chairs right here, these are my grandmother's kitchen chairs from the 1940s, and I just painted them black, and I recovered them with this fun fabric right here. And again, I pass by here a million times during the day, and I think of my grandmother, and I think of those chairs in the kitchen. Okay, so let's take a look in here at some special things. This picture right here is from my grandmother, from my father's mother, and this was the only thing that she was able to smuggle out of Italy with her when she came over on the boat. She had some clothes, and she had this wrapped up in there with her, and it's the only thing that I have from my father's mother, my grandmother on my father's side, and it's so special. He loved it so much, and so do I. Down here, these two figurines are from my mother and father when they first had the first shore house they had built in 1969, and she had them on display in the dining room. And again, I had them in the attic for so long, and then I thought, you know what? I don't care if people think they're old-fashioned. I like them. They remind me of my mother, and so I put them out. It's funny, people that know us, they tend to give us things because they know we like to display some stuff. A friend of ours just gave us these two urns right here, and he said to me, I know you'll do something with them. I know you can use them. And I just put them out right now. I thought they have really neat shape. I didn't do anything yet with them, but I will. Here, these two candle holders are actually part of a lamp from my mother and father. I took the lamp apart, and I used the bottom part and the top part to make these candle holders. So as we swing around on this side, again, I just discovered this not too long ago. This is a pencil drawing that my mother did. It was tucked away in a drawer, And I thought, hey, took it out right away and I framed it, and I love it because when my mother worked so hard, she had 2 jobs, and in between that, to relax, she used to like to do these pencil colorings. So that is very meaningful. As well, this is a lamp, and like my sister-in-law said about the other lamp, she could picture exactly where those were. I can picture exactly where this was in my house as I grew up. Now in here we have a few different things. We have these paintings right here, this one and the one above, and those are from Mary Ann's cousin Gracie. When we went to uh, clean out her house after she had passed, nobody wanted them, and so we took a few things there from her, and again, we're very happy to have them and have the memory of cousin Gracie. Let's see what else in here. This was given to us by the same people that gave us the tray in the dining room, and she found this painting and she thought of Marianne and she bought it and gave it to Marianne. I want to say when we were engaged, she did. These little paintings right here are also from Cousin Gracie, and they were really faded, and I did a video on them because what I did was I revived them. I painted over them. They were prints, and they actually kind of look like oil paintings now. So again, thanks to Cousin Gracie. Well, you know me, I love The Wizard of Oz, and these are really special. These were given to us from a student, and he knew how much we loved The Wizard of Oz, and he knew that I particularly liked the Scarecrow, and this is the Lennox Scarecrow and the Lennox Dorothy. So that's very special, and we were very, very surprised when he showed up with these, came over one day, and he was so excited he couldn't wait until we opened the boxes to see these figurines. Okay, so let me see in here. That table right there, that is actually a table from my mother and father's first living room set from about 1948. And I did have to clean it up a little bit because, again, it had been stored in the basement, and you know how things get in the basement, but it's still in great shape. And again, I can remember that growing up home. This chair is also special. This comes from a friend of mine who he gave this to me, and not too long after he gave it to me, he passed away. And I always think of him when I look and I sit in that chair, as well as that book that I have open right there. That's from him as well. So very, very special. This right here, this throw was crocheted by my grandmother, and that's probably going on about 60 years old. Okay, let's see. What else? So I actually think I'm going to call it a day, because really Mary Ann could give you way better stories than I can, and I'll probably do it again with her, but that's it for now. I wanted to get something out for you to look at and for me to say hi to everybody. All right, everybody. Hope everybody's doing okay, and I will be seeing you really soon. Take care. Bye-bye.